You just bought Tarkov, or you're curious to see how Tarkov plays out? Here's my beginner guide for Escape from Tarkov with me, Sneaky Giant. Enjoy. So this is your character. This is where you gear up your PMC, and this is where you also stash and store your items. If you go in raid and you get out with loot or with items and you want to put it in your stash, you put it in here. It's safe when it's in here, and you bring it in raid. That means you'll risk it. Whenever you die, you'll lose it. So everything on the left side you'll lose, everything besides your knife and the container that you got in your pouch with all the items in. So in your stash it's safe, on your character whenever you go in raid it's not safe. Then we go to equipping your PMC. You can equip your PMC with pistols, with guns, with medical supplies, with grenades, whatever you want to bring with you. If you're not sure where a weapon fits, if you left click on it, it will show you that you can drag it into the green area. So it doesn't fit in my secondary gun slot, but it does fit in my holster slot. If I go to for instance, SMG, it says like put me on the back of my character. So whenever I put it on there, it's on the back of the character, and it's my backup gun. You can put items in your backpack if you want to, like water or a little bit of food. In raid you'll lose a little bit of water and a little bit of food whenever you're doing activities, so it might be useful to bring that in case you do a long raid. In the beginning it's fairly hard to do a short raid, so you'll just take it slow and you need to drink and eat. Shonka gives a little bit of energy, and that's why you start off at the beginning. If you're not sure what an item does, just double click on it. It's as easy as it can be, and it shows you whatever you need to know. Let's get to the medical supplies. You start off with a whole bunch of AI2, splints, bandages, whatever you can find. I've just selected the things you can get at the standard level from Therapist. So you can buy an AI2, a bandage, a splint, an S-March, and painkillers. And those are the 5 things I'm gonna talk about. So the AI2 is a hit point healer. So whenever one of your limbs will get shot in here in health, you can get the hit points back. So if my arm gets shot and there'll be 40 off, I use this on my arm and it will get my hit points back. So if that happens, I put the hit points back up. If somebody shoots me and I start bleeding, instead of putting the AI2 first, I use a bandage. A bandage will remove bleeds. Whenever I've done that, I can use my AI2 to heal it back up so it doesn't bleed onwards. If you got a bleed, it will start using all or taking 1 hit point at a time from all your limbs. There's also a case that if somebody hits you hard, you get a heavy bleed. A heavy bleed is more significant, take more hit points per second, so you want to stop that as quickly as possible. You want to use an S-March at that point. That's the only access you got in the beginning that you can actually purchase, and it stops heavy bleeding. Takes 5 seconds, you put it around your arm, and then it's done. If you happen to go from a high place or you fall off the stairs and your legs say crack or they break when somebody shoots at you, you can remove that by using your immobilizing splint. When you put it on, it takes 5 seconds to put it around there, and then it removes the break and you can move onwards. If your leg is broken, you start limping and you'll have slower movement. If your arm is broken, you start shaking a little bit when you're trying to ADS. If you're in a sticky situation and you don't know if you can splint, bandage, or whenever your leg is broken, or you just want to remove the effect for a moment, you can use painkillers. It removes the pain and it gives you a little bit of less hydration, but it removes pain so you can walk and run again. But keep in mind, if you have a broken leg, one of the legs is broken and you use painkillers and you run, you take damage. So keep that in the back of your head. Okay, we've chatted about the medical supplies, and of course you want to keybind them. So I quickly keybound mine. If you want to do it yourself as well, you just hover over it or you grab it and you pull it towards your number. So this gives you the option, so whenever you're in raid, you don't have to access your inventory. You can just press 4 whenever your arm gets hit. So whenever you lose like 20 HP from your arm, press 4. If it starts heavy bleeding, you use number 7 for S-March or whatever number you got connected. Same with light bleedings, with broken bones. And if you're in a sticky situation, of course use painkillers and get in a safe position. Well, that's it for the medical supplies. Let's go to trading. This is where all your traders reside. You should go and look through them. Every trader has his own special guns. If you want to look at how everything looks like, you can right click and examine it. Everything new will need to be examined. If you want to have a quick binding, it's middle mouse button and it will automatically do it. Every trader has a specialty, so Paper got like guns, Peacekeeper got armor, guns. Therapist is your main person for medical supplies. Ragman is your main man for armors and rigs. Skier, Mechanic, Peacekeeper and Paper are the ones with guns the majority of the time, and Peacekeeper is a little bit of a combination, but in the beginning mainly gun. So we're back at main menu. This is where also you can select the hideout. This is where you can later on craft items, upgrade your hideout, and just look into items that you can craft maybe. Have a passive buff like HP regeneration over time. So those are the cool things you can get out of the hideout. This is nothing too special right now. You can maybe start some things straight off the get-go. It's not too important at the beginning. Let's go to the actual going in raid. So you go to Escape from Tarkov. Then you can select either if you want to go with PMC or with Scab. With PMC, if you click on that, you have a selection of maps. So you got Interchange at the moment, Customs, Factory, Woods, Reserve and Shoreline. The raids have 2 timers. Every single map has that besides Labs, because it has one. It is in an underground section, so it doesn't matter too much. If you select the night, it will be darker of course, and if the daytime, so 07 is daytime. Factory has a standstill timer, so keep in mind that it will be a select. The weather condition will also be shown, so it's foggy right now. On Shoreline it's foggy. This is where you select what map you want to go. You can see the how hard the difficulty is from the AI that runs around, the time of raid, and the amount of players. It will be between 9 and 12 on reserve. For instance, on customs, 8 and 13. If you go in factory, it'll be 4 to 5, depending on like what server you're on, of course. But if you see 4 dead people, you can assure yourself that there won't be too much PMCs left. Whenever we selected the map though, we'll go to next, and then we can either decide, do you want to go offline or online? I highly recommend you to figure the maps out in offline mode. You go with enable PV if you want to. If you just want to run around with no AI around, no PMCs, just go in offline mode for the raid, click next and go. So if you want to enable PV, then you click on it. There are 4 maps with a boss. Those are Shoreline, Customs, Woods and Interchange. You can enable a boss on there. If you do Scav War, they'll shoot at each other, the AI. Tagged and Cursed means whenever they see you, they'll keep spawning around you. You can also add the AI amount. High, medium, horde is just they come in whole bunches. Just click next and then you can go again. If you whatsoever want to do a normal raid, you just select the map, you go forward, you do not enable offline. You get at the insurance screen. So you can insure your items. If you insure them, you just have the option that whenever you die and your items will not be looted by another PMC and the raid timer hits 0, that your items will be returned. That's for everything besides your medical supplies, grenades, bullets and consumable. So everything consumable and usable will be gone. So no grenades back, no meds back, no food back. That's pretty much it. You can select Prepper or Therapist. You can single-handedly select one, or you can insure all and just insure it and then they will return it. Prepper has a return time from 24 to 36 hours. Therapist will be significantly more expensive but has a return time from 10 to 20 hours. Once you selected your insurance, if you want to do it, yes. If you don't want to do it, so fine as well. You can also just insure your gun and some other things. Then you get into your lobby. You can either hook up with friends here, start looking for a group if you don't have somebody in your friends list again, or you can just go in. Hey, you stick till the end. Oh, did you like the video? If you do, press the thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, feel free to do so. If you want to let me know about what you think of the video, put it in the comment section. Try to read it through. Now, wish you a pleasant evening or rest of the day. Bye bye.